Tropics at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An armed suspect still barricaded in an apartment this morning. What San Antonio police are saying about this dangerous situation.
And a San Antonio teenager convicted of murdering another teen could soon be let go.
The justice system initially failed my son, failed myself, failed my family in providing justice for what was done to my son.
How the victim's mother is hoping a hearing will keep him confined.
And outside with live cam down to 73 degrees. We're going to talk to Mike in a moment. And Justin is here early this morning. We're talking about a major freeway closure due to an incident on the northwest side. We'll talk to Justin in just a moment. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. It is September 14th.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, a busy morning ahead, but as far as stepping outside, not too bad. We're at 73 degrees this morning.
We started out Monday pretty good, warmed up yesterday. This morning it feels like another little dip, right?
Yep. Humidity's down ever so slightly, so it's a little bit better stepping outside. It's going to be nicer this afternoon. And then we're going to start to see humidity come back in here. But again, here over at the airport, everything's looking pretty good as of right now. Temperature stands, as mentioned, at 73. The normal average low is 70, and we'll continue to drop down a couple of more notches here and there. We've got some mid-60s in portions of the hill country, and these numbers, of course, the dew points, albeit mid-60s on average, are down maybe a couple of degrees compared to this time yesterday. Excuse me. We do once again have another ozone action day in effect for the metropolitan area, going up 35 into Austin. Allergens, mold is moderate, did go down somewhat from the previous day's reading. A little bit of ragweed, fall elm, and grass out there. And this morning, once again, I'm going for upper 60s, so same as we had on Monday morning, just a little bit notch below the normal low temperature, and then 93 for high temperature today with mostly sunny skies. And again, the humidity is going to be down somewhat, so it will be on the pleasant side. We'll talk about some small rain chances coming up tomorrow as well as through the weekend. More on that in just a couple of minutes. With more on traffic authority, Justin is here, and that big incident on the northwest side. What's going on, Justin?
Yeah, 410 westbound is now shut down. We're looking at TransGuide here. This is 410 at Bandera, and you can see where they're directing traffic off of 410. So this is the westbound side, completely shut down at this point. And this is going to start to cause some backups. There's not much yet, but there will be here soon. And this is for a crash involving a pedestrian. We believe it is unfortunately fatal, and so they're doing their investigations right now, and that's why the highway is shut down. Let me show you the map here. And we're talking right here on the city's northwest side. That's where the incident is, but it is shut down back here at Bandera. So this entire stretch here is a no-go. So if you're looking for a route around that, you can take Bandera to Callahan and then take Callahan south to Culebra. That'll get you around this incident and put you back on 410. But again, it is shut down westbound. Looks like this could be a while longer while they do their investigations. We're going to have updates throughout the rest of GMSA. Guys.
Thanks for the heads up, Justin. Developing this morning, San Antonio police still in a standoff with a man who's reported to be erratic and dangerous after he was seen throwing bottles and shooting at his dog. This all started just after 5 last night, the 5400 block of Diamondback Trail, in reference to a mental health call. SAPD says the 28-year-old man shot at his dog multiple times. However, the dog was not hurt. The man has since barricaded himself in his home and is armed. Although police say this is a dangerous situation, they have secured the scene and they say it has been contained. Police now have a warrant for the man for aggravated assault. SAPD hopes the incident will end peacefully with no shots fired. A San Antonio teen convicted of murdering another teen 2 years ago could soon be let out of juvenile jail after serving just 11 months of a 25-year sentence.
And the mother of the victim, Sebastian Vasquez Carpio, is hoping a judge stops that from happening. Erica Hernandez tells us why this mother is asking for help ahead of today's hearing.
It's been 2 years this month when Sebastian Vasquez Carpio's body was found inside a burnt-out car in West Bexar County. The 17-year-old was killed by another teen who we aren't identifying since he has yet to be ruled an adult. He was sentenced to 20 years on a manslaughter charge and 25 years for aggravated robbery, a sentence that didn't sit well with Sebastian's mother, Ana Maria Carpio.
The justice system initially failed my son, failed myself, failed my family in providing justice for what was done to my son.
She will return to the courtroom as her son's killer is about to age out of the Texas juvenile system A hearing will take place to determine whether he will serve the rest of his sentence on parole or be transferred to adult prison.
He has only served or has only been in the rehabilitation facility for 11 months. And I feel that 11 months is not sufficient.
Carpio is now reaching out to the community for help and support.
So on my post, I indicated that if they could provide support and write a statement to be submitted to the state.
Those statements will be reviewed by the court before a decision is made.
I believe in rehabilitation. One is deserving of it. I feel this individual does not deserve to get a second opportunity.
That transfer release hearing will take place later this morning. We will be there and have more on what the ruling is on this case. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
In your morning headlines, abortion just became an even hotter flashpoint ahead of the midterm election. Senator Lindsey Graham proposing a nationwide ban on the procedure in many cases. It would ban abortions after 15 weeks, except in cases of rape, incest, and saving the mother's life. Democrats are pouncing on the new bill. Some Senate Republicans were slow to start support of Graham's proposal. Still, some analysts see it as a campaign talking point for the GOP. Right now, states are dealing with the issue of abortion. West Virginia passed a near total ban just yesterday.
The U.S. Justice Department has announced the arrest of 8 people accused of running a human smuggling operation. In that case, hundreds of people were being smuggled into the U.S. in brutal conditions, including hiding people in suitcases and wooden crates. The 8 people, including the leader of the organization, they were arrested across the U.S. and this morning are facing federal charges here in Texas. The DOJ estimates hundreds, possibly thousands of citizens from Mexico, Guatemala, and Colombia were victims of this operation. A report says drivers for the organization were paid as much as $2,500 for each migrant they unlawfully transported.
So the message to human smugglers should be crystal clear. You will not be allowed to operate with impunity. U.S. law enforcement will continue to aggressively target you and your illegal operations for disruption and dismantlement.
Around 120 people are facing charges because of Joint Task Force Alpha's work. That task force is made up of the DOJ, Department of Homeland Security, federal prosecutors, and law enforcement.
In Boston, a package that exploded at Northeastern University last night contained a rambling note criticizing Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg and the relationship between academic institutions and virtual reality. It arrived in a hard plastic container that was delivered to the school's virtual reality center. It reportedly detonated when a staff member opened it. The 45-year-old staffer was taken to a hospital and has been treating for minor burns and lacerations to his hands. A second package was also found at the scene but was deemed not to be a threat. A building was temporarily evacuated, but the campus has been declared safe. Boston Police Bomb Squad and emergency services are still investigating. Right now it's 4:38, 73 degrees.
And coming up next, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has some better news regarding the hand injury of quarterback Dak Prescott.
I'd say we're easily 5 degrees cooler this morning than we were yesterday at this time. It was a beautiful night overall. Traffic is moving there on 410, but again, westbound 410 between Bandera and Ingram is currently closed due to an incident the police are still investigating.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys' depressing season opening loss to the Bucs just got a smidge brighter after what Cowboys owner Jerry Jones had to say. Dak underwent surgery to repair a fracture in his right thumb throwing hand and was injured late in the fourth quarter. Following the surgery, Jones believes the timeline for Prescott's return may be more like 2 to 3 weeks rather than 6 to 8.
If we thought he wasn't going to be ready to go for 4 games, until after 4 games, we would put him on IR. We're not doing that. We think he can come in and play, so we don't want to not have him out there practicing. We want him getting prepared, and we'll see how he handles this thing, how it heals, mainly how he can, his strength, how he can grip the ball, what his status is. But that's not being an optimist. The proof is that we got a good surgery, got good technique, and feel better about it than we did Sunday night.
For now, as reported earlier this week, Cooper Rush will step in when the Cowboys host the Bengals this Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The UTSA Roadrunners will face their toughest test of the season so far when they travel to Austin this Saturday, face the number 21 Texas Longhorns in their first ever meeting. Roadrunners coming off that overtime victory against Army on the road. Roadrunners will be 13.5-point underdogs when they visit Royal Memorial Stadium. Meanwhile, the Texas Longhorns are going forward with what appears to be a new starting quarterback in redshirt freshman Charles Wright. Both Quinn Ewers and Hudson Carter recovering from injuries in their 20-19 loss to number 1 ranked Alabama, then ranked to number 1. Wright has only played in one game, and that was Longhorns' blowout of Tech last season. As a result, the Roadrunners are prepared for Texas to run the Wildcat a lot more in this game.
We got a great deal of respect for UTSA. I can't speak for the other schools that stub their toes in those ball games. You know, you turn on the tape of UTSA, they get your attention quickly with their schemes, with their personnel, and the way they play the game. You know, clearly they had a lot of success last season, and then they've had 2 really hard-fought games here to start the year. You know, gut-wrenching loss to Houston, and then turn around with a great win versus Army, which is tough to do against a triple option. So they have our attention. You know, that didn't take long this morning when we turned the tape on for them. They get your attention. We need to be ready to go.
Kickoff between UTSA and UT is Saturday, set for 7 o'clock, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there.
It's going to be a big game.
I know. Who do you cheer for, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you went to UT. You're from here,
Yeah.
but you went to UT.
Yeah, I can cheer for UT, and then like next week I can cheer for UTSA.
So you're
again.
Switzerland today. You're neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
Time now, 4:44 and 72 degrees for now.
Up next, first look at the huge inheritance from the late Queen that King Charles is receiving that's valued about at $500 million.
In this morning's GMA First Look, King Charles III's royal fortune.
As I stand before you today, I cannot help but feel the weight of history which surrounds us.
As King, the sovereign grant, money the UK Treasury gives the Crown to fulfill its royal duties. Last year, the Queen received $57 million. The family's private wealth, the full extent a closely guarded secret. Then, the Duchy of Lancaster, a private estate of land property and assets. The monarch receives its annual profits. The Queen received $27 million from it last year.
I don't see why they need my taxes.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Good Morning America is tracking all the latest royal developments live from London. With your GMA First Look, Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And September is Hunger Action Month, and the San Antonio Food Bank says it is serving 100,000 people each week right now. That is 10,000 more people a week compared to last year. We're going to have more later today during our KSAT Community Town Hall, Faces of Hunger Town Hall. Now, our Sarah Costa and Max Massey will host a live stream starting at 2 p.m. talking with the San Antonio Food Bank about their programs and the nonprofit is offering, the need the nonprofit is seeing because of inflation, and how you can help out. So you can watch it this afternoon on our website, KSAT.com, our streaming app, KSAT Plus, and our YouTube channel.
If you're just now waking up or joining us, part of Loop 410 is still closed. Here's Justin with more.
Yeah, westbound Loop 410. And just before I came on, guys, I was watching a car. It went around the barriers. That is not a good idea. That'll get you in trouble. We just saw one car do that. You got to follow the rules here. They're asking all cars to exit 410, and you're going to exit onto the service road here. So it probably won't slow you down just yet this time of morning if you want to continue on your route on 410. Otherwise, you're going to have to find a route around this because 410 is closed at Bandera. The incident that we're talking about happened at 410 and Ingram involving a pedestrian and a car. Unfortunately, it was fatal. So that's why the road is shut down. The police are doing their investigation at this point. So let me show you what it looks like on the map. Right there is where the incident is. Again, 410 westbound in Ingram, but the road is shut down all the way back to Bandera, and you're exiting onto the service road here. You've got to follow the service road past Ingram before you can get back on 410. Otherwise, if you want to route around that, you can get off on Bandera, go down Callahan and take that to Culebra and then cut back over to 410. Just an option for you this morning. Again, traffic is not all that bad yet. It will pick up, though, here within the hour, and there likely will be more delays there along 410. You may just want to avoid it altogether if you can, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah,
and
good idea.
Just to add to that, SAPD had texted earlier and said that, with the investigation, like Justin was saying, it's probably going to be going on a long time. So.
Quite a while.
Yeah, looks
All
like
right.
it.
Yesterday, we did have a couple of thunderstorms that popped up, and great view. Seguin looking up to the north as that storm begins to build. Otherwise, a lot of blue skies out there. They were very sort of hit and miss. We're going to be not seeing any showers or storms today, but the next couple of days, we'll talk about that in a second. Nice start this morning, and we've got temperatures that are okay, down maybe a degree or two compared to yesterday. Here's the satellite radar loop going back 12 hours, and again, those couple of showers popped up around the area, which computer models were handling very well yesterday, and everything died down pretty much once the sun went down. And some folks, got a couple of decent showers here and there with that. Now, throughout today, I think we've got some mostly clear skies right now, a couple of clouds here and there. I think we'll continue to cool down a few more degrees, and like Monday, drop into the upper 60s. The normal low temperature right now is 70 in the ballpark of where we should be. And then throughout the 12-hour forecast, we're going to be warming up very quickly, and the humidity is going to start to drop down somewhat throughout the afternoon. So it is going to be a more pleasant afternoon. We'll be in the low 80s by late morning, 86 at noon, and then top off at 93, just like we did yesterday, with plenty of sunshine out there. And again, not putting any sort of a rain chance in the forecast today, but the next couple of days, different situation. So here's the computer model, and notice I've got this map kind of shifted off to the east a little bit more, or San Antonio pushed off to the west. First of all, as far as today, nothing going on out there. And again, this is pretty much what all models are indicating. Then we go into tomorrow. We'll start off a couple of clouds here and there, and this flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. So even by late morning, a couple of showers may pop up here and there. This again is tomorrow. And then in the afternoon, one or two of them. The majority are going to be here along the coastal plain. A couple may move in a little bit further to the west. And this scenario, I think a slightly better chance of rain on Friday, but then even going through the weekend, this scenario is going to be pretty much each and every day. Couple of showers here and there, primarily along the coastal plain. One or two may scooch in a little bit further to the west. Also, with that flow coming in there off the Gulf of Mexico, we are going to have more humidity. So 86 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies, 93 high temperature. Good looking day. Somewhat lower humidity, so kind of a pleasant day to be outside. Humidity starts to work its way back into the picture, and then I've got that chance, 20% even on those days, maybe kind of pushing things a little bit, but I think a slightly better shot at some rain on Friday. Not going to be widespread. Not everyone sees that. And then we'll have, again, a couple of showers here and there, even in through the weekend. And temperatures will be staying 3-4 degrees above normal. So a little on the warm side.
Well, we don't want the humidity, but if it pays off with a little bit of rain.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be, it'll be really, really hit or miss type stuff. And again, primarily off to the east. So.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
4:53, 72 degrees.
And some bad news for the Emmy Awards. Plus, we're going to tell you how The Crown is doing on Netflix following the death of Queen Elizabeth.
The Handmaid's Tale is back on Hulu, and hardly anyone cares about the Emmys.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
I killed him, and I loved it so much.
It's time to go back to Gilead. The Handmaid's Tale returns today with season 5. Star executive producer and director Elizabeth Moss telling me her character June is spiraling after killing one of her major enemies at the close of last season.
Because violence is not the answer, and killing this one person might have made her feel good for an hour, but it doesn't actually solve anything, and it doesn't bring Gilead down. It doesn't get her daughter back. And that's a horrible realization.
The first 2 episodes of season 5 of The Handmaid's Tale are streaming today on Hulu. People are watching TV shows in record numbers these days, but award shows about TV, not so much.
This is the 74th Emmys.
Monday night's Emmys were the least watched Emmys of all time. Just 5.9 million people tuned in to see it on NBC. That's off over 20% from last year. The previous low came in the heart of the pandemic in 2020. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, The Crown is back in the top 10 shows on Netflix, 7th place, with over 17 million hours watched. And happy birthday to Grammy-winning rapper Nas. He's 49 today.
And we just put it in?
While Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec is 60. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Time now, 4:57 and 72 degrees for now.
Today, King Charles will be joined by his two sons, Princes William and Harry, for a solemn procession to honor the late Queen Elizabeth. We'll tell you what's next as the UK remembers her.
And Nike has a new robot-powered way to clean and fix your shoes. That's coming up in Tech Bites.
And Justin's been telling you now for 30 minutes about the Westbound 410 closure due to a motor vehicle pedestrian fatality incident. We're going to check in with Camellia coming up live from the scene.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An entire highway shut down this morning. Coming up on GMSA, we'll tell you what shut down the highway and how long it can affect your commute.
Today, the Queen being brought here to Westminster to lie in state. I'm Inez de la Cuetera, and I'll have all the details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we'll take that 72 degrees, slightly less humidity out there.
And good morning. We've made it to midweek. It is Wednesday, September 14th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good week so far. I was happy just to step out and have a little less humidity. That's one little break we got there.
Feels a little bit more like our Monday did, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, not quite down there, but better than what it was yesterday, because Monday was so nice. Yesterday was like, now it's back to a nicer day. And it's going to be a nice afternoon as well. Right now, we are starting off at 73 degrees, and the dew point is still at 67, but it is down just a couple of notches compared to yesterday. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that does make a difference. So it will be, like we were talking about, like Steph was talking about, slightly better when you step outside this morning. 93 for high temperature later on today, and somewhat lower humidity, so it is going to be more pleasant in the afternoon. The aquifer, decent hit yesterday, down 0.8 of a foot. And as far as the allergens, mold is moderate, although it did come down from the previous day, and still got a whole bunch of fall allergens out there, fall elm, ragweed, as well as grass. So we've got plenty of sunshine today, and we don't have much of a breeze out there. What that means is we do have an air quality health alert in effect for the metropolitan area, and today it goes all the way up 35 up to Austin. So if you can maybe put off filling up the tank or something like that till later on, that would help out, or early in the day. Mostly clear, nice this morning, and then this afternoon mostly sunny. It is going to be on the hot side. We'll be a good 3, maybe in some cases 4 degrees above normal in the low 90s, but okay humidity this afternoon. Then humidity comes back in tomorrow, and also we'll have a couple of showers around here, primarily along the coastal plain, and that's going to be the case as we go in through the weekend. I think a slightly better shot at some rain on Friday. Not great chances, but just 1 or 2. Again, the majority of them will be to the east, and will also stay in the low 90s, so we will stay a little bit on the warm side. Details on the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Justin has the very latest on that big incident on the highways. What's going on, Justin?
Thank you, Mike. Our early morning commuters are hitting the road. This is 410 Westbound. It is closed down. You're down to one lane here. And this is near Bandera, but the road is closed at Exchange Parkway, so you're forced to exit onto the service road. The incident that is causing all this is at 410 and Ingram, and that's why people are being asked to get off this highway. There is an investigation going on, and Camellia is going to have more on that in just a second. But let me show you where this is. Right there, 410 and Ingram is where we have the incident involving a vehicle and a pedestrian. And the road, the 410 highway, is shut down here from, again, Exchange Parkway down to Ingram. And all cars are being forced to exit there to the service road. Now, with traffic the way it is right now, you can probably get away with that. It won't put too much time onto your commute. But if you want a way around that, you can exit Bandera, come down Callahan, and then go back down Culebra and get back on 410. Just an option for you this morning as things begin to pick up traffic-wise. This likely is going to cause some issues and delays. Question is, how long will this investigation be underway, and what was behind all of this? For that information, we're going to go out to Camellia Juarez. She's our eyes on the ground there. And Camellia, what are you seeing there?
Right, so far, like you said, the entire westbound lanes are shut down, but San Antonio police say that it started after 2:30 this morning. They tell us a man was walking off on the Loop 410 ramp towards Ingram Road when a car struck him. And when the car struck him, the driver didn't stop, didn't check on him, and that is a crime. When police and EMS arrived, they found that he was already dead. Now, if we take a look, you can see that, I mean, all of the westbound lanes are shut down, and traffic is not so bad right now because people are just now starting to wake up. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning on how this is going to look. Back to you, Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Camelia. Police say they have made an arrest in a deadly shooting in the Hollywood Park area. 22-year-old Derek Oliver Jr. is accused of shooting 3 people outside the Rose Bistro restaurant on Sunday. 2 people died. He was being brought back to San Antonio by Hollywood Park Police and the Texas Rangers.
Several big decisions made in Uvalde after an hours-long Uvalde City Council meeting just last night.
The agenda covered a wide range of topics, including physical fitness of police officers. And as Lee Waldman explains, the Uvalde police chief is looking to the DPS for guidance.
DPS has probably the best physical fitness instructor course in Texas. So that's why I want to go with that.
The topic of officer fitness has been brought up several times during the 3.5 months since the Robb Elementary shooting.
You said if they're applying, they'll have to be able to meet those requirements. What about the ones that are already employed?
Police Chief Daniel Rodriguez says the new physical requirements will be taught in a non-consecutive 6-week program by DPS. New and current UPD officers will need to pass physical tests twice a year. Tuesday, Council also accepted a donation from the Texas National Emergency Number Association for a total overhaul of UPD's communications center.
The equipment will not only benefit the 911 center, but also members of the community, by facilitating the collaboration between agencies and other agencies in an expeditious and cohesive manner without having to raise taxes.
That new center should be ready in October. Also on the agenda, discussion over headstones for the 21 Robb Elementary victims. The Cemetery Advisory Board giving the green light to standing headstones. They're just working at the logistics of how tall they'll be. In a statement read before the council, Kimberly Rubio, Lexi Rubio's mom, wrote she would only support 30-inch total headstones.
It is my understanding that the committee wants an 18-inch headstone. I am opposed to this recommendation. I ask the council to please approve a 24-inch headstone with a 6-inch base.
Those proposed changes for cemetery ordinances will be voted on by council at their next meeting. Tuesday night, a letter was presented to council. It's written to Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan, asking him to call for a special session to raise the age to buy an assault-style weapon to 21. This comes after similar letters written to Governor Greg Abbott have gone unanswered. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman for GMSA.
Waiting weeks for repairs while wasting water. Some San Antonio neighborhoods say water main breaks are taking too long to get fixed. Their concerns come during a record-breaking year for water main breaks in San Antonio. SAW says more than 2,200 have been reported so far. They blame extreme heat and drought, and right now they say there are 166 water main breaks that need to be addressed, but only about 10 are considered high priority. Many are growing impatient, including the Crownwood subdivision near Converse that is dealing with a second break in a matter of weeks.
This has been here wasting thousands of gallons, and it's okay though, it's okay. Just wait the week, wait another week.
You'll call them and we're gonna get to it. We'll be there soon. It's on the list, and it's just one story after another.
SAWS officials say high priority breaks include those that affect water supply, water pressure, caused major damage to roadways, or impacts hospitals and schools. SAWS admits lower level calls can take weeks before being addressed. SAWS says that water lost will not affect customers' water bills.
Taking a live look outside Buckingham Palace this morning, where it is 9 minutes past 11 in the morning. In a few hours, the Queen's casket will leave the palace and head to British Parliament's oldest building so the public can say its final farewell. The Queen is spending one final night at Buckingham Palace before she's transferred to Westminster.
And thousands have already lined up to see her. ABC's Inez de la Cuatera has the latest from London.
Overnight, a homecoming. The hearse carrying Queen Elizabeth's coffin driving through the gates of Buckingham Palace. Outside, thousands lining the streets, even in the rain, hoping to catch a glimpse. This as the royal family comes together. The King, Queen Consort Camilla, the new Prince and Princess of Wales, and Harry and Meghan all at the palace as the Queen returned to London from Scotland, where she passed on Thursday. The Royal Regiment of Scotland saluting Her Majesty as her coffin was lifted onto this military plane. The Queen's daughter, Princess Anne, traveling with her every step of the way, writing in a statement, "It was an honor and privilege to be doing so." This as the King continued his tour of nations, traveling to Northern Ireland before heading to London.
Now, with that shining example before me, and with God's help, I take up my new duties resolved to seek the welfare of all the inhabitants of Northern Ireland.
Meanwhile, London now preparing for what could be the largest gathering in British history. Members of the public already lining up outside of Westminster, where the Queen will lie in state for 4 days in the lead up to her funeral. More than 750,000 people expected.
I thought, well, she's reigned for 70 years, so 24 hours of rain isn't going to hurt me for a while. She's like a mother, grandmother that I've never met, and I think that she's done a fantastic job.
And the Queen will be transferred to Westminster in a procession later today. Officials are expecting the lines to see the Queen could last as long as 30 hours. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, London.
It's now 5:11, 72 degrees.
Apple's adding a clean energy charging feature to iPhones. We're going to show you how it's going to work.
Plus, how you can help a local church whose daycare van was stolen and severely vandalized.
And taking a look outside with live cam. We'll take that 72 degrees right now. It's going to heat up in the 90s later on. We'll be right back.
Time check 5:14. A local church is asking the public for help after losing its daycare van to vandals.
The pastor at Baptist Temple Church believes someone stole the van over the weekend. Now, it was found several miles from the church, trashed and in no shape for after-school pickup. The van may be salvageable, but if it is not, finding a replacement could be tough.
They hit us in a place that's extra painful because we just can't replace it with any vehicle. It has to have all these special safety features in it.
A replacement van would need electronic child safety alarm that tells the driver there aren't any children left in the vehicle. Now, the church is now trying to either borrow, rent, or buy a van with that alarm.
5:15, 72 degrees.
As a new version of a popular soccer video game debuts, how a major video game developer is making sure people don't cheat.
I will show you Nike's new system for cleaning and repairing your shoes.
You want healthy ingredients. Your cat is all about the flavor. Tastefuls has it all.
I need it to be healthy, but if it doesn't taste good, she's not going to eat it.
I've unfortunately had to sacrifice quality.
Oh, she's walking to it. You like it? I'm impressed. This is
comes in single-serve portions. Just snap it, peel it, pop it, chop it. Pick up Tastefuls singles and find out why one taste is all it takes.
It's the most wonderful time of day.
Claritin provides non-drowsy symptom relief from over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens, day after day. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year with Claritin Clear.
Oh, sorry. Go for the handful.
Welcome back. We are looking at 410 and Bandera here on TransGuide. This is the one shot we have here of this incident going on, which is at 410 and Ingram. But what you're noticing here are cars being forced into one lane, and eventually you're going to have to exit here. 410 is shut down. That's the big story this morning. 410 westbound is shut down, and that's from Exchange Parkway all the way to Ingram. And this is going to start to cause some real travel delays, I'm afraid, this morning. We're already starting to see a little bit of a slowdown here. So let me show you where that is. Right here on the city's northwest side, you have Bandera here, and then Ingram down here. This is where the incident was, which was we believe now, a hit and run involving a pedestrian. And unfortunately, it was a fatality. So police have the 410 shut down for investigation this morning, and that is why all cars again are being forced to exit. So we're starting to see a slowdown here on Bandera as well, as a lot of cars are starting to exit Bandera. Now you can exit Bandera, flip around, and then come down Callahan and then get onto Culebra and get back over to 410. That's an option this morning as things are beginning to slow down with now the road being shut down as it is. And this will only get worse. So this is probably just an area you want to try to avoid this morning as police continue to do the investigation. We do have a reporter out there, and we're going to have more throughout the rest of this morning, guys.
Thank you for the update, Justin.
Thank you. And Woodlawn Lake, another beautiful shot there.
Yeah, and the framed very well by those thunderstorms that were in the background, as Mr. McClellan says, looking off to the east, and those big, you know, if you're got the sun shining on these things from the west and looking at them, they are gorgeous. But underneath those storms, or underneath those clouds, once they developed, obviously some folks picked up a little bit of rain, which was good news. Very kind of few and far between, and that will be the case again tomorrow and then going into the weekend. Not today. We're taking in rain chances out of the picture today. Good looking out there by the airport as of right now. And temperatures, we are still a couple of notches above normal. I mean, there's nothing chilly out there, but I was looking back yesterday at this time, we were still right around 78, 79 degrees. So we're down a good 5-6 degrees compared to this time yesterday. We still have some humidity out there, but that's going to be dropping down as well. Yesterday, we did top out at 93, 94 in Hondo. And again, nothing really off the charts. I mean, 96, though, in New Braunfels this time of year is still pretty toasty. And today, just about the same situation. We're going to be low 90s, maybe even a couple of models indicate. But we're going for 93 degrees. And again, the normal high average is 90. So we'll be on the warm side of things. And I think we continue to drop down. We have not bone dry air. It's not quite as dry as what it was on Monday. But I do think we continue to drop down into the upper 60s later on this morning. And then warms up quickly throughout the day. We'll already be up to 86 degrees at noon. And the rest of the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 93 high temperature today. And that's just about where temperatures are going to be. High temperatures all the way in through the weekend. Here's one of the longer range computer models, and again, nothing is showing up on anything today. Now tomorrow, and again, this is one of those that sort of broad brushes everything, but what you can take away from this is the fact that yes, there is the chance for some rain, albeit on the small side. And most of it's going to be down here along the coastal plain. That'll be the situation on Friday as well as Saturday, maybe a couple of showers around here. Same thing on Sunday, very few and far between, the majority down here to the south and east, and even going into Monday, perhaps one or two of those showers kind of hanging around the area. Very small chance for some rain. Quick check on the tropics. Once again, this batch of clouds right here, hurricane center now has a little bit better chance for it to develop into something. And as of right now, it would continue to work its way primarily off to the northwest or the west-northwest in toward perhaps the lesser or the greater Antilles. But as of right now, nothing big other than that batch of clouds out there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So forecast goes like this around here today. We will make it up into the mid 80s at noon, mostly sunny skies, and then a high temperature is going to make it to 93. Humidity is going to be okay today, so it will be a nice day, okay to be outside. Humidity will start to work its way back in here as we go into the next few days, and we'll start to have that chance for a couple of showers. I think a slightly better shot, and 20% could be pushing things. I wouldn't count on that much. But again, most of this, the overall trend will be, the majority of the rain will be along the coastal plain to the east and to the southeast. One or two showers moving in a little bit further to the west, and overall temperatures will be staying 3-4 degrees above normal on both ends of the scale, the highs and the lows.
And you don't know where these little showers are going to pop up. I think one popped up yesterday out towards Bernie.
There were a couple of them just scattered about here. Now the trend will be, because those were all kind of coming in, those disturbances from the north. Now it's going to be more coming in from the southeast, so it'll be coastal plain.
Okay.
Fingers crossed for later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
523, 72 degrees.
And your winning lotto numbers, we have pick 3, 323, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 4413, Fireball 7.
Cash 5 numbers 1, 4, 5, 7, 20. And Mega Millions 14, 25, 38, 59, 64. Mega Ball 21, Mega Plier was 4. Good luck from everybody at GMSA.
It
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is already planning an update for its brand new iOS 16. The company will add a clean energy charging feature later this year, aimed at reducing the carbon footprint of iPhones. It's expected to optimize charging times for when the grid is using more sustainable energy sources. The soon-to-be-released FIFA 23 soccer game from Electronic Arts will be the first to include a new anti-cheating system. EA says the new protections will help ensure fair play while not compromising privacy. FIFA 23 is out September 30th. Finally, a new twist on the term cleaning bill. Nike has a sneaker cleaning robot. It's called the Bot-Initiated Longevity Lab, or BILL for short. Nike says the elaborate contraption not only cleans sneakers, it deep cleans and repairs them to give them a longer life. Maybe it can repair the holes in shoes. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It's like a car wash for your sneakers.
Yes.
527, 72 degrees.
And abortion just became an even bigger issue ahead of upcoming midterms. We're going to tell you why.
And we'll tell you how a looming rail worker strike is already affecting Amtrak here in San Antonio.
And looking for a new pet? Well, the Animal Defense League is standing by with a cute one coming up.
A U.S. Senator's new bill to ban abortions nationwide is stoking mixed reactions this morning.
After 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother.
How the upcoming midterm election results could affect access.
And a quick look outside with a live cam. That little break in humidity. We are at 72 degrees.
And a good morning to you. It is Wednesday, September 14th.
Thanks for joining us today. Busy on the roadways. We've had some problems off of Loop 410.
Let's go straight to Justin Horn with an update.
Hey, good morning. We're talking westbound 410 here. This is where the highway has been shut down. So what we're looking at here is 410 at Bandera, and police still have cars going into one lane here, and earlier they were exiting because the highway was completely shut down due to an incident at 410 and Ingram. Well, looks like it's still slow going, and this is probably going to back things up for a little while longer. Now, we do believe that the investigation may be wrapping up here, and that may help things. We're going to get a live report here in just a second. But at the moment, we were looking at 410 being closed here near Bandera, and there was a slowdown as you got onto Bandera. Cars are being forced to exit to the service road with that incident being down here around Ingram Road. Camelia Juarez is there. She's got the latest for us, and you may have an update for us, Camelia.
That's right, Justin. We're near Ingram Road, and we're seeing that the westbound lanes are open. The scene is clearing up near us. I'll take a step aside so you can look at that. Just people, you can still see cars trickling in. But San Antonio police say it happened around 2:30 this morning. They tell us a man was walking on Loop 410 off ramp towards Ingram Road when a car struck him. The driver didn't stop to check on him, which is a crime. When police and EMS arrived, he was already dead. Now, police are still looking for that person that hit this man. This investigation will continue, but for now, it looks like the highway is open. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Amelia. And of course, we'll keep you updated on that situation throughout the rest of the morning. Here's a look outside by the airport, and we've got maybe a couple of clouds out there. Traffic on 410 at the airport is moving along very smoothly in both directions. Temperatures are actually down about 5-6 degrees compared to this time yesterday. Remember, Monday started off really nice. Then yesterday we were hanging in the upper 70s, and we've got okay humidity out there, not much of a breeze. 70 right now in Helotes, mid 60s in portions of the hill country, and the allergens, mold is moderate. Ragweed, fall elm, and grass are all on the low side. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming out in a couple of hours. We do have another ozone action day, and not going to be any rain today. This obviously is the whole metropolitan area and goes up 35 into Austin. And as far as temperatures today, 86 at noon, 93 for a high. The humidity will be, again, on the okay side later on this afternoon, so it'll be a somewhat comfortable 93, albeit on the warm side. Get used to seeing numbers like that. Low 90s, about 2, 3, 4 degrees above normal throughout the forecast. Also, humidity comes back in here and maybe 1 or 2 showers. We'll take a look ahead to the weekend in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. It has now been 12 hours that San Antonio police have been working to convince the man to come out of his home. They describe him as armed and dangerous. Now, the standoff is happening on a street called Diamondback Trail, not far from Loop 410 and New Sulphur Springs Road. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, have police had any contact with him?
Well, good morning. They tell us that they have had some conversations with him over the course of this night. And when we arrived probably 45 minutes ago, we could hear them making announcements on a loudspeaker, trying to convince this man to come out of his home. But still, they say he is still inside, refusing to come out. Now, if you notice, there's not a whole lot going on behind me. That is because we're actually facing in the opposite direction from where the action is. Police have asked us not to shine lights in that direction. So we're facing this way, but we do have some video to show you. This goes back again till about 5:30 yesterday evening. Police say they got a call for a mental health situation. They were told that there was a 28-year-old man who had been screaming, throwing bottles around, and also firing shots at his own dog. The police say the dog was not hit, but that man did go inside his home and has refused to come out. They have been here ever since, trying to convince him to do just that. They have brought in SWAT officers as well to try to negotiate and have him come out. But the police tell us they have the situation contained to that area. They do have the street roped off so that people cannot get anywhere close to what they call the danger zone. And they are still continuing to try to negotiate with that man and convince him to come out. Police tell us that this is a home that they have been to in the past before, and they now have a warrant out for that man's arrest. They're just trying to get him to surrender peacefully. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. 5:36, abortion just became an even hotter flashpoint topic ahead of the midterms. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham is now proposing a nationwide ban on the procedure in many cases.
And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, candidates from both parties are looking to use his bill to rally voters.
They're going to ban abortion if they get in charge.
Democrats are pouncing on a new bill from Senator Lindsey Graham.
After 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother.
Many Democrats were already campaigning on the unpopularity of overturning Roe v. Wade in June.
Leader McConnell acknowledged that a federal ban on abortion was now, quote, possible.
Possible, but not likely. Senate Republicans were slow to support the bill.
I think most of the members of my conference prefer that this be dealt with at the state level.
And states are dealing with the issue. West Virginia passed a near total ban yesterday. California has a new website to help people in restrictive states travel there for the procedures. Republicans who control Graham's own state of South Carolina found a near total ban blocked by members of their own party last week.
They are fighting to take us back.
Another barrier to a federal ban is likely a veto.
It's wildly out of step with where the majority of Americans are.
Still, some analysts see Graham's bill as a campaign talking point for the GOP. They say it could appeal to moderates seeking a middle ground, while also rallying the base.
There is a consensus view by the most prominent pro-life groups in America that this is where America should be at the federal level.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And new numbers show that the amount of children in poverty fell by nearly half last year. That's due mainly to the enhanced child tax credit. Now, Census Bureau data just released shows about 5% of children lived in poverty last year. That is down from nearly 10% the year before. The percentages are based on a broader alternative measure developed by the Census Bureau. The supplemental poverty rate for kids was the lowest on record since the measure began. The trend is not expected to continue this year, and that's because lawmakers did not extend the enhanced child tax credit beyond 2021, and they are not expected to approve any more stimulus checks or other boosts.
On a lighter note, you can earn some cash by pumping your adrenaline this Halloween. Dish Network satellite service looking for someone to watch 13 films based on Stephen King novels. Whoever selected will get $1,300 or $100 per movie. It's not totally free money. You have to track your heart rate and jump scares and answer a few questions about which flicks you liked best. You have to be 18, but aside from that, qualifications are pretty casual. There's no drug test or background check.
That's interesting. I think our Stephen Cavazos would like to do something like that. He likes the scary movies.
He does.
Me, not so much.
Very much qualified. Stephen, not Steph. 539, 72 degrees.
And negotiators in Washington are trying to stop a looming freight rail strike on Friday. How the strike is already affecting Amtrak here in San Antonio.
Inflation now spreading more widely through the economy. What that means for your paycheck and prices at the pump and grocery store.
And this afternoon, we are looking forward to the heat. But for now, looking out there with live cam, we're at 72 degrees. Not too bad. We'll be right back.
542, now to the news about the higher prices we're paying on everything from groceries to rent.
Economists say inflation is getting worse, even though gas prices are falling. ABC's Derek Dennis explains.
This morning, new jitters on Wall Street, the Dow plunging some 1,200 points Tuesday after worse than expected news on inflation, echoed by consumers feeling the pinch.
You're supposed to try to survive when the cheapest apartment in Phoenix is $1,000 a month.
When it comes to the overall inflation picture, the Consumer Price Index shows a 0.1% increase in prices last month compared to a flat reading in July. That may seem small, but analysts worry it's a sign inflation is not cooling off.
We're talking about 0.1 of 1%.
President Biden saying the nation's other economic indicators are all positive.
The economy's still strong, unemployment's low, jobs are up, manufacturing's good. So I think we're going to be fine.
But Wall Street is concerned about rising interest rates. The Fed next week is expected to raise rates by another 0.75% or more, making everything from car loans to credit card debt more expensive. One bright spot, gas prices have been falling for 91 consecutive days. But with 8 weeks to go till the midterm elections, Republicans say the president is in denial about inflation. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
Gas is now down below $3 a gallon in most places.
Yeah, a relief as far as that goes.
Yes, ma'am. 543, 72 degrees on your Wednesday.
And the Animal Defense League is up next. They have a special pet that needs a new home.
Look at this little boy's face. Nadia's here from the Animal Defense League. Who is this guy?
Oh my gosh, this is Rocco. He's a 6-month-old Schnauzer mix.
He's only 6 months old?
He's only 6
This
months.
well behaved. Wow.
Yes, he's a little shy, but he's really good with kids, really friendly, and let me tell you, just a ball of energy.
Yeah, and she walked over here as we were getting ready to line up to record, and he just kind of walked over up against my leg and was like, okay, now pet me. This is what you're supposed to do as I walk up to you. So, yes, indeed. Hi, little buddy. So, sweet little guy. Schnauzers always have those eyes look like they just can speak volumes to you.
Yes,
you know?
yes, he is
indeed.
so sweet.
So, big event going on right now, right?
Yes, absolutely. So today actually starts the Big Give SA. So you want to go to biggivesa.org and register to help us fundraise for our goal, which is going to be $30,000 this year, to save more pets just like Rocco. So the Big Give SA is going to be starting today, and on the 22nd and 23rd is going to be the big donation day where you can help us fundraise for the 24 hours.
Wonderful. And you can give otherwise. I mean, they've got their Amazon wish list, everything. You can volunteer there, all sorts of things. But of course, monetary donations would help out quite a bit. So, okay, hi.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me a kiss? You're just still looking at me. You don't know what's going on here. But if you'd like more information on Little Rocco and Big Give for the Animal Defense League, everything right in Nacogdoches, Paul Jolly Center, or the PetSmart over there on 4 Winds, 655-1481. Thank you, dear.
Of course.
And in your morning consumer headlines, food prices have shot up more than 11% over the past year, the biggest increase since 1979. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says everything from eggs and flour to milk and meat cost more now. Economists say it's not just because of inflation, which is actually slowing down. Food prices are also affected by global events like the war in Ukraine and droughts that have killed crops, and the avian flu, which has also hit the supply of eggs and turkeys. Economists say it also takes time for changes like decreases in ingredient prices to get to customers.
Amtrak is preemptively suspending service on some of its long-range routes due to that looming freight rail strike. Amtrak said it's closely monitoring the ongoing negotiations, which do not involve Amtrak or its workforce. But since Amtrak does not own the track itself, thousands of miles of travel could be impacted. The routes being suspended include part of one of its routes from LA to San Antonio, as well as long-distance routes from Chicago to LA, Seattle, and San Francisco. The labor dispute could lead to the first national railroad strike in 30 years' time. The strike could begin as early as this Friday.
And time now is 5:49. Looks like things are a little better out there at Loop 410.
Sure are. Here's Justin Horn in for Steven.
Yeah, they've improved significantly. The road is back open now, so it's smooth sailing here as we look at 410 and Bandera. Westbound, all lanes are reopened. They've removed the flares, any blockage there. So that issue has passed. An investigation was underway earlier for a vehicle and pedestrian incident. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later, but for now, the roads are open. And as we look at some other scenes here, 281 at the quarry, everything's moving really nicely here. Other than that incident this morning, things have been very, very quiet. Most of the roads not seeing a lot of traffic yet. As we know, it's within the hour here that we start to see that bulk of the traffic move and pick up, and we'll see more slowdowns probably in our spots that we generally see slowdowns throughout the morning. But a lot of green on the map. That one incident you see there is the one that Katrina Weber is at, and that's really not causing any traffic issues, but just be aware there is a police incident there on the southeast side. So all in all, pretty good morning so far, guys, as traffic is moving right along on this Wednesday morning.
Nice to get that big one out of the way, Justin.
Yeah, big improvement. Well, that's an interesting picture there.
Yeah, so we had some of those thunderstorms that popped up, just, scattered about here, and somebody's in the top of the Tower of the Americas. And so here is the dome right there looking kind of off to the north. And wow, that's a great looking picture. Perfect timing with that lightning strike right there. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Got another really cool one coming up in the next half hour as well. All right, over there by the airports, everything is, traffic's moving along very well. We don't have anything going on, no reduced visibility. Temperatures, and this is what's really making the difference this morning. Of course, the humidity is okay, but these numbers, temperatures are down about 5 degrees, 5, 6, 7 degrees compared to this time yesterday. Remember, we were hanging around in the upper 70s. We're already lower than what our low temperature was yesterday, which only dropped down to 75 degrees. Still 3 above normal, but we've got some mid 60s, mid to lower 60s up there in portions of the hill country. Dew points are not, amount of moisture in the atmosphere aren't just off the charts. Yeah, there is some humidity, but it's not that kind of humidity like we like to describe that sort of pushes back when you open up the door. As a matter of fact, these numbers, or those numbers, I should say, are close to what they were yesterday, maybe down a degree here in town. But again, when you don't have upper 70s and it's like mid 70s and even mid 60s, that does feel a lot better when you step outside this morning. So here's the satellite radar loop over the past 12 hours. And again, those thunderstorms that picture that we were looking at, there's some of those storms that had popped up. They didn't last very long. We're going to take any sort of rain out of the picture today. It's just going to be pretty much a lot of sunshine, but also the humidity is going to be okay. So throughout the next 12 hours, I do think we drop down a few more degrees. We'll get into the upper 60s like we did on Monday, which, of course, if you recall, was the first time we'd been in the upper 60s since going back to late June. 83 at 11 o'clock, 86 at noon, and then we'll make it up to 93 today at 4 or 5 o'clock with a lot of sunshine out there. And like I said, the humidity is going to be okay. Computer model today, nothing going on. Going into tomorrow then, we will have just a couple of showers here. Notice how not many of them, but just a few of them, primarily along the coastal plain. 1 or 2 of those may try and scooch a little bit further westward. This is going to be kind of the trend, if you will, not only tomorrow, but also going into the weekend. I think a slightly better shot at some rain by Friday. But again, most everything is going to be, if you just had to kind of do a broad description of what will happen tomorrow in through the weekend, first of next week, primarily showers off to the east. 86 at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature today, 93, plenty of sunshine. Humidity is going to be okay today. Humidity is going to start to work its way back in here tomorrow as we get that southeasterly flow. And again, 1 or 2 of those showers, mainly along the coastal plain area. 1 or 2 may come a little further inland. Temperatures will stay overall about 3, 4 degrees above normal on both ends of the scale, high and low, and a slightly better shot at a shower or 2 on Friday.
That humidity sure is sneaky, trying to work its way back in.
Yeah, it's not as dry as what it was on Monday. At least we have lower temperatures, like I was talking about. But yeah, there'll be enough to where you kind of go, okay, it's kind of humid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. 5:53, 72 degrees at San Antonio International.
Here are your winning lotto numbers. We have 323, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 4413, Fireball 7.
Excuse me. Your cash 5 numbers 1, 4, 5, 7, 20. Mega Millions 14, 25, 38, 59, 64. Mega Ball 21. Mega Plier was 4. Good luck.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we are tracking the latest on the inflation setback, the disappointing new economic report that shows prices are still climbing and more than expected. This has sent markets tumbling, and this morning we're going to tell you how the Fed could respond and what President Biden is saying. Plus, the latest on the Queen's final journey. Thousands of people in London gathering to pay their respects. We are there live. We're going to have those stories and so much more coming up on a Wednesday edition of Good Morning America.
And ahead in our next hour, GMSA, several big decisions made in Uvalde after an hours-long council meeting last night. We'll tell you what's next for that city's police officers. A staff member from Northeastern University in Boston is being treated after a suspicious package exploded. We'll tell you about a second package that was also found. And we continue to track a police situation on the southeast side of San Antonio where a man has barricaded himself in a home. They describe him as armed and dangerous. We'll get an update on this hours-long standoff. And TransGuide, our big incident on the northwest side has cleared out there. It was earlier on the westbound lanes of 410 near Ingram and Bandera Road. Right now you're looking live at 281 at 1604. We will be back.
Right now, San Antonio police are monitoring a standoff situation on the city's east side. Katrina Weber is staying on top of that story. She is standing by with the latest in a live report.
A major accident on westbound lanes of Loop 410. Coming up on GMSA, we'll tell you about the criminal investigation that's ongoing.
And outside with live cam, back down to 72 degrees. It was really nice Monday morning. We warmed up yesterday morning, and now here we are midweek. We will take it. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
He goes first. He has a better voice. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, September 14th.
Thanks for joining us. You have a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you, Steph,
yes,
very much.
Yes, happy Wednesday.
I forgot where we were in the show. I mean, I knew we were starting a show.
Yes.
Anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah, good morning, guys. You know, at least we get a little break in the humidity this morning.
We do.
Nice.
Mike is here with more on that.
Yeah, and temperatures are down somewhat as well. So I guess if I had to kind of put them in order, Monday would be number one, today, and then yesterday. So temperatures are actually down somewhat this morning compared to yesterday. Beautiful view out there. A lot of clear skies looking off to the northwest. There's the tower in the airport right there. We are now down to 71 degrees, so just a notch above normal, and we've dropped down 2 degrees in the past hour. Low 60s in parts of the hill country. Comfort at 63 right now. Bernie Stage at 64. And again, humidity is okay. Not quite as low as what it was on Monday, but again, the temperatures are lower than what they were yesterday. We're actually about 6-7 degrees lower than where we were at this time yesterday, which makes all the difference in the world. Mold is moderate. Ragweed, fall elm, and grass are all on the low side. We do have an ozone action day in effect for the metropolitan area and going up 35 into Austin. Temperatures 86 at noon, 93 high. Don't have any chance for a shower today, but we will start to, and by the way, the humidity is going to be okay this afternoon as well, but we will start to see, you know, 1 or 2 showers, mainly along the coastal plain tomorrow, as well as going in toward the weekend. We'll talk about temperatures as well coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Justin is in this morning, had a big problem. That's cleared up, right, sir?
That is cleared up. And Mike, I know with these temperatures, I know some people, I won't name names, turning on the heater this morning. Is it that cool? Low 70s.
Was that
not
you?
Me. Not me. I thought about it, but it's not me.
No, he
all the
thought
fingers
about
pointing.
it.
No, but beautiful, beautiful morning, as Mike said. And as we look at 281 and 1604, traffic is moving along perfectly. We had the incident earlier at 410 and Ingram. That has since cleared. So 410 is open westbound. And we'll look at some other TransGuide shots here, and all looks well. 281 at Encino Rio, 281, 410 west. And we'll go down to I-10 and Callahan. Everything looks good there. As far as 410 and Bandera goes, that was an issue earlier. Traffic is moving along just fine. Let's go to the maps. We've got green everywhere, so all around the city, nothing to worry about. There is the one incident there. That's the one that Katrina Weber is at. This is off the major highways, though. Issues, but there is a police presence there. Otherwise, posted speeds, you should be good this morning. You'll get to work on time if you leave now. Now, things obviously will change as we get later into this morning. We'll see the roads get a little more crowded, and we'll keep you updated throughout the rest of Good Morning San Antonio. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Happening now. San Antonio police say they're hopeful for a peaceful ending when it comes to a standoff with an armed man.
It has been going on for more than 12 hours in a neighborhood not far from Loop 410 and New Sulphur Springs Road.
Katrina Weber is live where it's happening in the 5400 block of Diamondback Trail. Katrina, have police offered any clues as to how much longer this might go on?
No, they've simply told us that they plan to try to talk to this man to convince him to come out peacefully. Now, right now, things are very clear to shine any lights in that direction. We do have some video, though, to show you how things looked when police shut down this section of Diamondback Trail. They say they have this area contained. Now, this started with a phone call around 5:30 yesterday evening. What police say was a concern about erratic behavior by a 28-year-old man. Police say they had reports that he was yelling and screaming, throwing bottles around, and shooting at his dog. They tell us the dog was not hit, but police felt that this is a dangerous situation. They say the man barricaded himself inside his home, and again, they have been trying to get him to come out by talking to him. When we arrived, we actually heard them on the loudspeakers trying to convince him to come out, but so far it seems that their words are falling on deaf ears. Now, we know that SWAT officers are here, so we will wait and see what happens a little bit later on today. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. The westbound lanes of Loop 410 are open again after a deadly crash just a few hours ago. Camelia Juarez has been following the story, and she joins us now live. Camelia, how are things looking out there now?
Yeah, right now the traffic is moving smoothly. Everyone's getting where they need to go. But let me show you how it looked earlier. Crews shut down the entire westbound lane. San Antonio police say it started after 2:30. They say a man was walking along the ramp on Loop 410 near Ingram when he was struck by a car. The driver did not stop to check on him. Police are working to find out who that driver was. They still don't know. And police and EMS, when police and EMS arrived, the man who was hit by the car was already dead. And we're working to find out the name of that victim. But when we know, we'll let you know on air and online. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
A San Antonio teenager convicted of murdering another teen 2 years ago could soon be let out of juvenile jail after serving just 11 months of his 25-year sentence.
The mother of the victim, Sebastian Vasquez Carpio, is hoping a judge stops that from happening. Erica Hernandez tells us why this mother is asking for help ahead of today's hearing.
It's been 2 years this month when Sebastian Vasquez Carpio's body was found inside a burnt-out car in West Bexar County. The 17-year-old was killed by another teen who we aren't identifying since he has yet to be ruled an adult. He was sentenced to 20 years on a manslaughter charge and 25 years for aggravated robbery, a sentence that didn't sit well with Sebastian's mother, Ana Maria Carpio.
The justice system initially failed my son, failed myself, failed my family in providing justice for what was done to my son.
She will return to the courtroom as her son's killer is about to age out of the Texas juvenile system. A hearing will take place to determine whether he will serve the rest of his sentence on parole or be transferred to adult prison.
He has only served or has only been in the rehabilitation facility for 11 months. And I feel that 11 months is not sufficient.
Carpio is now reaching out to the community for help and support.
So on my post, I indicated that if they could provide support and write a statement to be submitted to the state.
Those statements will be reviewed by the court before a decision is made.
I believe in rehabilitation. One is deserving of it. I feel this individual does not deserve to get a second opportunity.
That transfer release hearing will take place later this morning. We will be there and have more on what the ruling is on this case. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
The Department of Justice arrested 8 people allegedly involved in a human smuggling operation. According to the indictment, the 8 people were allegedly transporting migrants within the U.S. for money, and some of the migrants came from Mexico, Guatemala, and Colombia. They were placed in houses in Laredo and Austin. Authorities say drivers allegedly hid the people in suitcases and repurposed water tanks. Those arrested were from around Texas and other southern states.
And today we are hoping to learn more about an arrest in a deadly shooting out in Hollywood Park. We have been following this story since yesterday. 22-year-old Derek Oliver Jr. is being brought back to San Antonio by Hollywood Park Police and the Texas Rangers. He is accused of shooting 3 people outside the Rose Bistro restaurant on Sunday. 2 of those people died. Now, this is a story we're continuing to follow closely. You can read the latest on our website at KSAT.com.
A staff member from Northeastern University in Boston is being treated after a package exploded while being opened. Boston Police Department's bomb squad were called to the campus after a 911 call came in around 7:15 last night, stating there were 2 opened the package and it detonated. A person was taken to the hospital where they suffered from minor injuries. To be a threat. Boston's police bomb squad and emergency services are still investigating.
Time now, 6:09 and 72 degrees for now.
Still to come, King Charles due to inherit a huge portion of Queen Elizabeth's personal fortune valued over $500 million. That's ahead in your GMA First Look.
Plus, how one local woman is helping others in need after she got some help from the San Antonio Food Bank.
Outside with live cam, Mike says we're now down to 71 degrees as we take a live look at the airport. How warm will it get later today? We have your midweek forecast coming up.
And welcome back at 6:13. September is Hunger Action Month, and the San Antonio Food Bank is serving 100,000 people each week.
One woman is using the hope given to her and her family by the food bank to help others in need. After dealing with the rise in cost due to inflation, Mari Morales noticed the food in her kitchen was running out, so she turned to the San Antonio Food Bank to help her and her family.
It doesn't matter your social status. It doesn't matter if you feel, well, do I need this? Or are there others who need it more than I do? It's here for everyone. When we received everything that was given to us, it was more than enough.
Madi tells us that her family has been distributing food in her east side. Hopes those in the community are inspired just as she was to help all year long. And there are ways to help out. You can scan this QR code on your screen right now. It will take you to KSAT.com, where we have a list of the 12 most wanted food items that the food bank and RBFCU are collecting right now. You'll also find details on where you can drop off any donations throughout the month of September. There are more than 25 locations.
Today we'll be hosting a KSAT community town hall called Faces of Hunger. Max Massey and Sarah Acosta will be hosting the live stream starting at 2 o'clock. They'll be talking with San Antonio Food Bank about programs the nonprofit is offering, the need the nonprofit is seeing because of inflation, and how you can help out.
And right now I'm looking at Highway 90 at Couples. Things look pretty good right now.
Justin, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. No issues at all. We had the one earlier that you talked about there, 410, where there was a slowdown. That has since cleared. So all the other highways are moving smoothly at this point. Knock on wood. Hopefully it continues this way throughout the rest of the morning. 90 at Couples, as you said. No issues there. A little bit of a slowdown perhaps in one of the lanes there, but otherwise smooth sailing. I-37 at Jones looks good there. We'll go over to I-10 at Callahan. Traffic picking up a little bit there northbound or eastbound, I guess it is there. You would expect that this morning. And then I-10 at the Y, always a place that gets crowded as we get more towards the 7 o'clock hour. Right now, still looking pretty good. Let's look at the big map here. There are very few issues going on, but I will remind you, and it's always a good reminder, watch for those school zones. You got to slow down. Of course, watch for the buses too. If that stop sign comes out, you got to stop. Even if you're going the other way, unless it's a divided highway, you got to stop for those buses as the kids get on this morning. It is showing that one incident there on the southeast side. That's where Katrina Weber is. That is in a neighborhood, so it's not really affecting any highways or anything like that. But there is a police presence there. Otherwise, you've got the color green showing up on the map, and that means posted speeds for everybody this morning, which is great news, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Mike, let's roll that beautiful school bus this morning.
Alrighty, and probably don't need a jacket. Maybe a light little sweatshirt in parts of the hill country. We've got some low 60s there, but otherwise, it's a nice morning. I think we'll drop down to 69 degrees. We're at 71 as of right now, and then nice big warm up will actually be about 3 above normal. The normals, averages this time of year now, they start to drop off kind of quickly. Every few days, drop down another degree. So 90 is our normal high, 70 is our normal low temperature. So of course we are pretty much in the vicinity. All right, here's a really cool picture, and look closely at this one. Obviously, some of those storms last night, but right here, notice that line. It looks like a long exposure, and that's the navigation lights on an airplane flying through there. And yeah, like the caption says, wonder what the pilot was thinking. If that's a commercial plane, wonder what the passengers were thinking going by that thunderstorm last night. Probably a bit of a rough ride with all the turbulence around there, but yeah, really neat long exposure. Thank you very, very much for that KSAT Connect picture. All right, a couple of clouds are showing up around here this morning. We had, 1 or 2 of them yesterday morning. And of course, yesterday, here's some of those thunderstorms, again, that popped up in the afternoon. There was just a couple of them. And notice how these were coming pretty much out of the north to northeast. That's been the overall flow the past few days. That's going to start to change around. Today is nothing day. We're not going to put any rain in the forecast today. We'll drop down to 69 in the next hour or so, 70 then at 8 o'clock. And then we'll very quickly gain about 5 degrees per hour all the way through 10 o'clock, and then 86 at noon. We'll top off at 93 later on today. And a lot of sunshine out there. Humidity's going to be okay. Not bone dry air, but it's not going to be really off the charts. Not going to have that much, if at all, of a heat index later on today. Here's a computer model. And like I said, nothing showing up today. Then we go into tomorrow, and we'll have some clouds around in the morning. Typical situation. Notice the flow, though, is coming in here off of the Gulf of Mexico as opposed to coming in here from the north. So this is going to pull in more moisture, and then a couple of these showers popping up here and there. This is what you can take away from this and then apply this to Friday, the weekend, and maybe even Monday, is that the majority of everything is going to be here along the coastal plain as far as any showers. There may be 1 or 2 of them that get a little bit further inland, but not really any big deal as far as rain is concerned. Just a couple of them here and there. 86 degrees today at noon. Mostly sunny skies. High temperature up to 93. Plenty of sunshine out there. And again, like I said, the humidity is going to be okay. Then tomorrow, with that flow coming in here off the Gulf of Mexico, we'll start to see a bit more humidity. So you'll kind of feel that 93 a bit more. Got a 20% chance for a shower. Again, most of those will be off to the east along the coastal plain. Perhaps a slightly better shot on Friday, and temperatures again will be 3-4 degrees above normal all the way in through next week.
Oh, so anything weird on the horizon right now, or are we looking pretty tranquil?
No,
overall?
out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, that one batch of clouds. Now the Hurricane Center says perhaps a 40% chance of it developing into something. And as of right now, some long-range computer models just have it being kind of kept out to sea or going along the eastern seaboard of the United States by a front that will move through there. So,
all right, maybe later.
Nothing for us, though.
Okay, thank you, Mike. 619, 72 degrees.
And just ahead, a high school volleyball matchup on the south side has a lot of people talking this morning. We're going to have a recap in your morning sports.
Ladies, 6 minutes, please. This is my life. It's not always picture perfect. Plus, I'm dealing with bleeding from uterine fibroids. Enter MyFembry, a once-daily pill for women with heavy menstrual bleeding due to uterine fibroids.
With MyFembry, heavy bleeding went down by 84%. Serious risks include heart attack, stroke, and blood clots. Don't take MyFembry if you've had any of these or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, are over 35 and smoke, could be pregnant, or have or had osteoporosis, liver disease, undiagnosed vaginal bleeding, certain cancers, or an allergic reaction to it. Don't use longer than 2 years as bone loss may occur. Pregnancy loss can occur, and changes in periods may make it hard to know if you're pregnant. If you think you are, stop taking it right away. Other risks are depression, suicidal thoughts or actions, abnormal liver tests, high blood pressure, and passing of the fibroid.
Less bleeding, same life? I'll take it.
Ask your doctor about MyFembry.
My life, MyFembry.
In this morning's GMA First Look, King Charles III's royal fortune.
As I stand before you today, I cannot help but feel the weight of history which surrounds us.
As king, Charles now has three main sources of wealth: the sovereign grant, money the UK Treasury gives the crown to fulfill its royal duties. Last year, the Queen received $57 million. The family's private wealth, the full extent a closely guarded secret. Then, the Duchy of Lancaster, a private estate of land property and assets. The monarch receives its annual profits. The Queen received $27 million from it last year.
I don't see why they need my taxes.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Good Morning America is tracking all the latest royal developments live from London. With your GMA First Look, Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, the local high school volleyball action last night was headlined by some big matchups in District 28 5A and 29 6A.
KSAT 12 Sports' Andrew Seeley made the trip out to South San, and he has more on a match that turned into an instant classic.
Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Down 2-0 and facing match point, Harlandale rallies to stun South San on their home court, completing a reverse sweep to win 3-2 and improve to 2-0 in district play.
It means a lot. It means a lot. It's shocking, not really though, but it makes you feel good. It makes you wanting to continue to keep winning.
It really shows us what we're capable of, considering last year we were district champs, and by district champs, we're just coming back to show that that's who we are again this year.
The Indians never lost faith, thanks in large part to a Harlandale cheering section that was loud and proud all night long.
The student section gave us so much confidence today. Like, they boosted us up, they gave us anything we need today, so we just fed up for them.
The Indians joined Southwest and McCollum as the only 2-0 teams in district play. They'll next take on Medina Valley on Friday night. The District 29 6A picture is coming into focus as well. O'Connor retained their stranglehold on the district lead with a 3-1 victory over Warren at Northside Sports Gym, as seen on the BGC app last night. The Panthers are now 5-0 in district play. Taft swept Sotomayor to improve to 2-3 and get back in the race for the top 4 spots. You can catch more highlights from all of these games right now on the BGC page at KSAT.com. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Andrew Seeley.
And time now, 6:26 and 72 degrees for now.
In our next half hour, the abortion battle heating up again this morning, keeping a close eye on the latest from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and across the country.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. Things are moving there at I-10 and the Y. Things looking good so far, but we're going to be checking in with Justin Horn very soon.
Police try to use their words on a man who they say used a gun to shoot at a dog and now is refusing to come out of his home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you why this standoff, now in its 13th hour, could drag on.
A major fatal accident on westbound lanes of Loop 410 coming up on GMSA. Police continue to look for the suspect.
And outside with live cam as we approach the 6:30 half hour, your Wednesday forecast is coming up. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 14th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a wonderful week so far. I mean, the afternoon is getting a little hot, but at least right now, not too bad.
Feeling a little bit more like it did on Monday, which was a really nice start to the work week, Mike.
Yeah, because temperatures are back down. Yesterday, we were hovering in the upper 80s right now, and as of right now, we are in the low 70s, 72 to be exact. The normal low is 70. I think we dropped down another couple of notches. We actually fluctuated 1 degree just in the past couple of minutes here. 67 for a dew point. So that's, again, not bad. Not as low as what it was on Monday, but at least temperatures are down compared to yesterday. Not much of a breeze out there as of right now. 69 in Helota, 64 Bernie Stage, and Comfort at 63. So cooler, maybe a light little sweatshirt or something for the kids out there in portions of the hill country. Otherwise, got some low 70s throughout much of the metropolitan area. Mold is moderate. Ragweed, fall elm, and grass are all on the low side. Ozone Action Day today, and that's the entire metropolitan area. And today, unlike yesterday, it goes up I-35 in toward Austin. So mostly clear. Nice, you know, 1 or 2 clouds hanging around there this morning, and then we'll have mostly sunny skies. Hot, 93, so 3 above normal, but the humidity is going to be okay later on today. Humidity is going to start to work its way back in here. It's going to creep back in tomorrow. A shower or two. Now, the thing to take away from the chance of rain is most of it's going to be to the east, right there along the coastal plain. That'll be the situation into the weekend as well. Just a couple of stray showers. One thing, though, temperatures will be staying, though, in the low 90s. Low temperatures will be staying in the low 70s. So we are going to be, compared to normal, on the warm side through the weekend. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Justin is in this morning. What's going on, sir?
Thank you, Mike. Not a whole lot out there. Let's start with TransGuide here at I-10 at the Y. Traffic is still moving pretty smoothly. Give it another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We know traffic will start stacking up here. So just a heads up. Still sort of early in the commute, so things look okay. We'll go through a couple more shots here. This is 281 at 410. Traffic's moving along just fine. 410, again, reopened after an incident earlier this morning. I-37 at Jones looks good, too. Traffic moving at posted speeds. Couple of incidents, though, that we do need to point out. We've got a new one here. We'll check on that one. That looks to be along 90 there, just west of downtown. But an incident here near Rittiman and Foster. This is right at the intersection, so off the freeway, but looks to be at the intersection there. That may cause a few slowdowns if you're traveling down, say, Gibbs Sprawl or Rittiman, Foster Road. That may cause some issues here over the next 30 minutes or so. And then also we're detecting something going here along 410. It looks like there's an obstruction, maybe something in the road that is slowing down traffic as you go 410 eastbound towards 281, something to watch this morning. And then again, we have that incident there just west of downtown along Highway 90. We'll check in on that. So things are starting to pick up a little bit more. Don't forget about the school zones too. With school in session here soon. That's another look at I-37 and Jones Avenue. Again, traffic moving along smoothly there, guys.
Justin, thank you. San Antonio police are hoping words will be enough when it comes to ending a standoff on the city's southeast side.
They have spent hours trying to convince the man with a gun to come out of his mobile home. This is happening on a street called Diamondback Trail that is not far from Loop 410 and New Sulphur Springs Road.
Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, you mentioned earlier this started out as a mental health call. How did it turn into a standoff?
Yeah, police tell us that they initially had reports of some erratic behavior on the part of a man who had a gun. Well, the man at the center of that call, they say, then ran inside his home, barricaded himself, and has refused to come out. Now, all of this activity happening out of our camera view, behind our cameras. The reason is police have asked us not to point our lights in that direction. We do have video, though, that shows you exactly what's going on. Police arrived around 5:30 yesterday evening. They called in for backup. They ended up roping off the area around the home in the 5400 block of Diamondback Trail in an effort to contain what they call danger. They say this is a dangerous situation. The police say they have reports that the 28-year-old man was yelling and screaming, throwing bottles around and shooting at his dog. Although police say the dog was not hit, they want to make sure that this man, they say, doesn't hurt anyone else. And they're also hoping that he doesn't get hurt. They say that they're going to try to keep talking to him and convincing him to come out peacefully. Now, earlier we played a little sample of what we heard when we arrived. Police on the loudspeaker trying to talk to the man and convince him to come out. All of that activity, the loudspeaker announcements have stopped since then. We do know that SWAT is here, so we're going to wait and see exactly what happens next. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We know you'll keep us posted. Thank you, Katrina. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating a deadly crash on the northwest side of town. It happened just a couple of hours ago in the westbound lanes of 410 near Ingram. Camelia Juarez is staying on top of the story. She joins us live. Camelia, we know the highway is open. What can you tell us about the investigation?
Well, things are moving a lot smoother right now, but that was not the case a few hours ago. Let me show you what things used to look like. This was the scene around 2:30 this morning. San Antonio police say a man was struck by the driver of a car while walking along Loop 410 near Ingram. We're told the driver did not stop to check on him. and when police and EMS arrived, he was already dead. Right now, we're working to learn the name of that person who was hit, and police continue to look for the driver. And right now, we'll let you know when we get that information on air and online. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Camelia, thank you very much. Several big decisions made in Uvalde after an hours-long city council meeting last night.
The agenda covered a wide range of topics, including physical fitness of police officers. As Lee Waldman explains, the Uvalde police chief is looking to the Department of Public Safety for guidance.
DPS has probably the best physical fitness instructor course in Texas. So that's why I want to go with that.
The topic of officer fitness has been brought up several times during the 3.5 months since the Robb Elementary shooting.
You said if they're applying, they'll have to be able to meet those requirements. What about the ones that are already employed?
Police Chief Daniel Rodriguez says the new physical requirements will be taught in a non-consecutive 6-week program by DPS. New and current UPD officers will need to pass physical tests twice a year. Tuesday, Council also accepted a donation from the Texas National Emergency Number Association for a total overhaul of UPD's communication center.
The equipment will not only benefit also members of the community, by facilitating the collaboration between agencies and other agencies in an expeditious and cohesive manner without having to raise taxes.
That new center should be ready in October. Also on the agenda, discussion over headstones for the 21 Robb Elementary victims. The Cemetery Advisory Board giving the green light to standing headstones. They're just working at the logistics of how tall they'll be. In a statement read before the council, Kimberly Rubio, Lexi Rubio's mom, wrote she would only support 30-inch total headstones.
It is my understanding that the committee wants an 18-inch headstone. I am opposed to this recommendation. I ask the council to please approve a 24-inch headstone with a 6-inch base.
Those proposed changes for cemetery ordinances will be voted on by council at their next meeting. Tuesday night, a letter was presented to council. It's written to Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan, asking him to call for a special session to raise the age to buy an assault-style weapon to 21. This comes after similar letters written to Governor Greg Abbott have gone unanswered. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman for GMSA.
And it is a case that has shocked even the Bexar County Sheriff. Sheriff Javier Salazar says one man turned weapons into machine guns. That suspect is 20-year-old Elijah Freeb.
He's accused of selling switches, which can turn semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic ones. Deputies arrested him in Poti yesterday. That's where they also found 3 Glock switches, an AK-47 style assault rifle, and narcotics.
And time now 6:38 and 72 degrees for now.
After the break, new details in the abortion battle. What's now coming out ahead of the midterm elections. This morning, abortion access again is taking center stage in Washington.
Senator Lindsey Graham introduced new legislation that would impose a federal ban on most abortions after 15 weeks. This comes less than 2 months before November's pivotal midterm elections.
ABC's Justin Finch takes a closer look.
Nearly 3 months after that landmark Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham reigniting the abortion rights debate with his new legislation.
There's a narrative forming in America that the Republican Party and the pro-life movement is on the run. No. We're going nowhere. We welcome the debate.
Graham's bill calls for the federal ban of abortion after 15 weeks, providing rare exceptions, including for rape, incest, and to save the mother's life. The bill sending shockwaves through Graham's Republican Party as they work to clinch House and Senate majorities while slamming President Biden's handling of the economy.
I think most of the members of my conference prefer that this be dealt with at the state level.
Across the aisle, attacks from Democrats calling Graham's bill extreme and hoping it will motivate voter turnout in November, as it did for last month's abortion referendum in Kansas.
That is why you saw the voters of Kansas turn out in droves, 500,000 of them.
Republicans in Congress are focused on taking rights away from millions of women across the country. While we are fighting for progress, they are fighting to take us back.
At the state level, West Virginia state lawmakers passed a bill Tuesday effectively banning abortion, except in cases including some medical emergencies and sexual assault. And last week in Michigan, the state Supreme Court ordered that an abortion rights initiative be included on the November ballot. Graham's bill needs 60 Senate votes to advance, an uphill climb given Democrats are in the majority. House Republican Chris Smith introduced a companion bill in the House. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
It's now 6:44 on your Wednesday morning.
And from these TransGuide cameras, it looks like there's a little bit of a holdup at Highway 90 at Couples, but let's go ahead and check with you, Justin Horn.
Yeah, traffic on 90 is starting to pick up, and we do have an incident along 90 we want to bring your attention to, but this is 90 at Couples. You can see the brake lights, so we're starting to see traffic slow down. That is the morning commute picking up, and then again, we potentially have an incident here as we look along Highway 90, and this is going to be eastbound coming into town near General McMullen. You see the slowdown there where you start to see the red colors. That means traffic is sort of inching along here along 90. So you may want to try to find an alternate route with this going on, and this traffic has just picked up within the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes. So that's going to affect your inbound commute along 90 into downtown. Meantime, along 410 there near North Star Mall, noticing that we're getting a slowdown too. This is being reported as some sort of obstruction. It could mean there's some debris in the road or something like that, but we are noticing that traffic is slowing down as you get through the Castle Hills area on 410 eastbound. And one other area, this one just came in. Looks like we may have a minor incident here or a minor crash along 35, and this is going to be going southbound into town. Looks like a little bit of a slowdown there. That is being detected. We'll get some more information on that, but that's the latest on what's going on here around town. And again, 90 not looking good, and that may get a little bit worse before it's all said and done, guys.
Do you notice Justin's real good at pointing at stuff for some reason?
Yes,
got all this down.
It's because of the weather background, I think.
That's
Thank
true.
you, Justin.
That's true.
Because he's in front of a green screen, and I've just got this plain old big giant TV thing behind me right now. So,
but you got a pretty shot back there.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful picture. And we showed you earlier, Mr. McClellan had his camera pointed off to the east, and some of those big thunderstorm clouds that developed off to the east from Woodlawn Lake yesterday, and then pointed to the west, and it was that great looking sunset. And look at all the sunbeams. It's a beautiful picture out there. A good looking shot right now. Planes coming in here, landing down to the southeast on runway 14. Traffic over there, 410 is moving along pretty well. 72 degrees right now, 63 in Comfort, maybe a light little jacket up there. 70 Castroville and 69 up the road in Helota, 66 Balverde. And the humidity, dew points are actually up slightly compared to Monday. Monday was that bone dry, well, not bone dry, but really, really pleasant morning. These numbers are okay. Port SA coming in at 73. That's a little bit on the higher side, but the humidity is about the same as what it was yesterday, but temperatures are down a good 7-8 degrees compared to yesterday, because remember, we were right around the upper 70s at this time. I think we'll drop down another couple of notches before it's all said and done, so we'll bottom out in the upper 60s again, like we did on Monday, and then warm up very quickly. 86 already at noon. Then make it up into the 90s later on. 93 high temperature. No chance of rain really today, but then the next couple of days we do need some more rain chances moving on in here. And by the way, 93 normal is 90 right now, and that's going to be the trend all the way through the forecast period. Nothing showing up today. Then tomorrow we'll start to see, and again, this is a long-range model, kind of broad brushes things, but a couple of showers. Thing to take away from it is majority is going to be down to the southeast along the coastal plain. Same thing on Friday, Saturday as well. Sunday, one or two of those showers. And again, this is going to be very few and far between. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, I wouldn't change them at all. One thing that is going to be a little bit different today, humidity is going to be down somewhat in the afternoon, so it's going to be slightly more comfortable. But then the humidity will come back in here with this flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll be starting tomorrow in through the weekend and the first part of next week. And then Tuesday, looks like we'll have more sunshine. There's the high, which, you know, that had been throwing in these little disturbances from the north around here. And that thing is going to kind of slide off to the northeast. That keeps us in this flow off the Gulf of Mexico. That's the situation through the weekend. And then by next week, it starts to plunk down right on top of us. Hopefully we get enough of a, it's far enough to the north to get enough of a flow off the Gulf of Mexico. But that's not a fall type weather pattern at all, unfortunately. No fall fronts yet. 86 degrees, mostly sunny skies. High temperature makes it up to 93. A lot of sunshine out there. Humidity is going to be okay today. Tomorrow, a bit more humidity, couple of showers. And again, the majority of those are going to be off to the east and to the southeast. Perhaps a slightly better shot at rain on Friday. And it is definitely going to be on the warm side. Not anything off the charts, but...
Right. I say good news if you're looking for a new job. We're going to have the top tools you need to make your job search a little easier.
Let's check on that morning sunrise on your Wednesday morning. Out there, right, just a hint up there as we look more towards the north over San Antonio International Airport. You're watching GMSA.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we are tracking the latest on the inflation setback, the disappointing new economic report that shows prices are still climbing and more than expected. This has sent markets tumbling, and this morning we're going to tell you how the Fed could respond and what President Biden is saying. Plus, the latest on the Queen's final journey. Thousands of people in London gathering to pay their respects. We are there live. We're going to have those stories and so much more coming up on a Wednesday edition of Good Morning America.
San Antonio police are approaching 14 hours of trying to convince a man to come out of his home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. This standoff is happening here on the southeast side of town. This is the 5400 block of Diamondback Trail. Now, you don't see anything behind me because we're facing the opposite direction. Police have asked us not to point our lights in that direction. Our video, though, shows the situation. Police have this home, a mobile home, roped off in the 5400 block of Diamondback Trail. They say a 28-year-old man is inside. They believe he has a gun. They say they had reports that he was yelling and screaming, throwing around bottles, and also shooting at his own dog. Police say the dog was not hit, but they have been trying to make sure that no one else gets hurt. This started about 5:30 yesterday evening and has continued with police making periodic announcements over a loudspeaker, trying to get that man to come out. And they say that is the approach that they plan to take for now. They do have SWAT officers here on standby, so we will wait and see what happens and let you know as things change. Reporting from the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
It's about 5 till 7.
And big problems on I-35 at Wiener. Let's go ahead and check in with Justin.
Yeah, this just popped up. It's like we flipped a switch here, and now we're starting to see a lot of incidents around town. You can see all the brake lights here. So we have an incident that is maybe a minor accident or just assault car, but it's in the shoulder, and you see the flashing lights there. So everyone's hitting the brakes here. You see all the brake lights. Even on the northbound side of things on I-35, you're starting to see some slowdowns just because those lights are there. I also want to take you over to Highway 90 at Couples. Brake lights here. Looks like we have a disabled vehicle or a minor accident that's on the shoulder along 90. Both of these causing some slowdowns now as you head into town. Let me show you here on the map. We start here at 90, and that's that slowdown that is near General McMullen. Not huge slowdowns, but they are there nonetheless. And even going towards Zarzamora, we're seeing a slowdown as you head into downtown on Highway 90 eastbound. We've also had some debris on the road or something on the road here that's causing slowdowns along 410 eastbound. This stretches all the way from I-10 close to Blanco. And then a new incident, that one that we just showed you there along I-35 that's causing slowdowns, and that is southbound. And then a new incident here on the far east side in Bexar County that is now causing some big slowdowns as you head west into town. So a lot out there, Mike, at the south.
Thank you very much, sir. And not a bad start. Traffic over there by the airport is moving along fairly well. We've got a couple of clouds hanging around here. 73 degrees right now, and we're going to have a high today up to 93.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here at 9.
Good Morning America is next.